Afternoon, fellas. Well, good morning and welcome. And we're here to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Denali Bowling Club, which is a fantastic effort. So we've got, from my left, Chris Williams, Barry Cann and Allan Weir. So firstly, thanks, fellas, for taking the time to talk about your experiences with the club. And I'll start with Chris from the left. So Chris, if I can just run down the page and talk about some of your involvements. You've been president of the club for 4 years. Premierships, you've won 7 in total.
Yep.
Would that be correct? 5 on the weekend and 2 midweek.
Yep.
You've been a club champion 12 times.
Yep.
President's Trophy on 9 occasions.
Yep.
Handicap single, 3 or 4?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I need to check the records.
Club pairs, you won on 5 occasions.
Yes.
Champion of Champions on 3 occasions.
Yes.
The regional championship, in 2016-2017, you won that.
Correct.
You were involved in that.
Yes, sir.
And that must have been a pretty special occasion.
Oh, it certainly was. Yes, yes. I won the champions, and I went to Lansfield was to play the final, and luckily I got a bye. So the Ballarat champion of champions from the Ballarat region had to play the champion of champions from the central. There was Kyneton, Wood End, Gisborne, and that area there. And the Ballarat guy beat the Gisborne guy, so I then had to play the Ballarat champion, and and I ended up winning that. I forgot the name of the guy. He was a nice fella. Anyway, I forgot, and then that left me in the last 16 in the state, which I went. It was a East Bendigo. We played, and the guy I played this guy, and I was in the game. Look, there was only 2 bad ends, and he beat me. And he ended up being runners-up to in the state to Barry Lester. And Barry Lester is a guy who's played for Australia a number of times. You follow bowls, he does a lot of commentary stuff on there. So he ended up winning that particular year. But I was very proud of that. That was really special, for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And various state events over a number of years.
Yes, it was a bit like that. Yeah, I played pairs with Jeff Davies. We won the association. I won the triples with Keith Mottram and George Edwards, and also the fours with Jeff Shea was in that group. Yeah, we won it. There was back in them days. The state competitions was quite big, and there was a lot of teams. I remember with Jeff and we had to play, I think about 5 games it was to get. We played Bigger Crosley and Rod Johnson in the final over at Malden. We had to play. There was a lot of teams in it. These days it's nowhere near as big, So I was very proud of that because that was a big effort, and we had to go down to Whittlesea to play in the regional final, which we got beaten. But there was So that was it the 80s? I'm not sure now. 90s? I'm not sure.
If I can just touch back on, Chris, to win 12 club champions, it must be something at the end of your career, which I hope's not for a long time.
Yes, I hope so.
But you must be pretty proud of that.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's funny, and I probably shouldn't say this. I always had an ambition to equal or beat Alf Fremantle's. Alf had 9, but I thought, that's my aspirations to try and win that. And I did, and I've made it, and I've lost a few. This man over here on the thing there, the year he won it, we had an epic game. It was 24 all, and I had a bowl sitting on the kitty, and then he banged it back into the ditch, and I was still holding shot, and then with his last bowl, he drew shot to win the club championship. What year is that, Al? I can't remember now.
No, I think 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. So we've had. I've been lucky, I think, on many occasions, but. It's about being consistent draw bowler, Andy. And consistent.
And saying that, mentioning that championship match, you would have seen in your time a lot of great bowlers come through through this club?
A lot of great bowlers, and there's good bowlers here now. always, anybody can beat any day on their day if they're bowling well. Okay? I always remember one day I had a conversation with Al Fremantle about it, and he said, well, you win more than 50% of your game of bowls, you'll have a successful bowling career. And he's totally correct, in my personal opinion. And there's good bowlers in this club now, there's plenty of them, who could beat other bowlers in the club. And the next day they could lose to them too, okay?
Yep.
That's nature of sport.
Yep.
Nature of
Yep.
sport.
Yep.
And in most sports, you know,
Yep.
and, yeah. But yeah, no, I've had a terrific run, and hopefully it continues.
Well, there's more than we'll talk about, Chris, that I'll get you to talk about, but I'll just jump sideways for a moment to talk about Barry. Barry, I'll start off the top with which you'd be very proud of, a life member of the club.
Yep.
Do you know when that was?
This year.
Yep. What a proud moment that'd be.
It was, yeah.
Yep. And well deserved. And you're now the current president of the club.
Yep. Give away the treasurer for. We've done that for 11 years. And I give it. Done the president. So, yeah.
Fantastic. As you said, you've been treasurer for quite some years. Pairs champion on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
Premierships, 4 altogether. Would that be right?
Yeah, at least 4. Yeah.
Yep. Division 1.
I had a few other ladies. I was in those.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not sure all their photos are up there.
No.
For the ladies, actually. Do you think there's some missing?
No, I think there's some missing.
Okay. Yeah.
So Division 1 on 3 occasions, Division 3 on 1 occasion, and midweek 1 as well.
And I've lost two grand finals by 1 shot. Last year and before we started winning all the games, we lost that by 1 shot.
Yeah, wow. Yep. Regional pennant championship in 2017-2018. Proud moment.
Yeah.
Selector for many years.
Still.
Yep. And talk to us about that, because that would be some challenging times.
Yeah, well, Chris and I are doing it this year, and it's very hard. You try and do the best, and you're always doing the wrong thing. But this year we're lacking bowlers, so we're just putting people in holes, filling up.
Yeah.
That's why we might be able to get someone else to play.
Barry does a terrific job in doing that. He's to try and adjust things and get people. He does a terrific job. Yeah.
It'd be an unwanted job at times, I imagine.
People don't want to do it.
Yep. Commenced winter pairs 5 years ago.
A bit more than that.
Was it?
More.
Yeah,
Remember,
I guessed it.
it'd be 8 or 9 years
Yeah,
ago.
have to be.
What's his name, the bloke?
Weir.
Well,
You're the inaugural of it. You started it, yeah.
We run it a few years in a row, and then we shared it with a
Don
poker.
No, not Don Carr, the other bloke, his wife was here too. I think they both died. I can't think of their names now. Anyhow, he sort of started, he got it all going, and we just went on from there. I believe that's got the club going. The lesser bowlers are playing through the winter, and it's improving their bowls.
Yep.
And that's why I think the club come up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as Al touched on, it was a week about with Avoca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just a bit hard on the greenkeepers and everyone to do it every week, so we decided to swap it with them.
Yep.
Week on, week off.
Yep.
Worked out well.
It's when Avoca got the synthetic green.
Yeah.
Right.
So they could bowl all winter.
Yep.
So it worked in pretty well with us, so we could look after our green a bit too.
Yep. Yep. We touched on, just to go sideways on that, we touched on the hope of getting a synthetic green sometime in the future, or is that something the club aims for?
Well, we came up last night at the meeting, so
When I was president, we had a annual general meeting. This is 3 or 4 years ago. There was a motion put to put a synthetic green in. There was about 40 people here. It was unanimous. Nobody voted against it. But we've done nothing from that particular time for a variety of reasons. A lot of bloody work for one. Two, we don't want, from my point of view, well, I don't want to be in conflict with the football and netball club too, you know, and they need X amount of millions of dollars, I should say, to build their facility. And we don't want to be fighting with them too. You know, we want them to have their facility too. But we need to do something, otherwise we're going to be in trouble in the future.
And Barry, underlining all of this is the words "great club person," which is a pretty. I think you wouldn't get any arguments from anyone about that. Which again, you'd be very proud of.
When I join something, I put into it, like the football club and fire brigade, even the SES, the whole lot. Yeah, just put into it. Community makes the town.
Yep.
You know, you haven't got a good community, you got nothing.
Barry's also a life member of the football netball club too.
And the fire brigade and the
fire
CFA.
brigade. CFA.
Yeah.
And he just won a $200 award in bowls for what is it?
The best bowler for October.
For doing, somebody's put a.
They just rang me, they want a photo, so I've got to get a photo taken.
Fantastic. And on our right is Allan Weir, who I think off the top I'd just like to make mention, Al, that there's 3 generations now that have played together at one point in time, which was your dad, yourself and your son Evan.
And mum,
And mum as well.
Yep.
Which that would be pretty amazing and pretty proud.
Yeah, it is. It's the only sport you can do where you can play with your 80-year-old father and your 25-year-old son. It's a fantastic game, things like that.
And isn't that what makes a great club? That we can bring our families together in something like that.
We've got one family now. The kids started playing, 3 kids started playing, and then all of a sudden the father decided to have a go, and then the mother decided to have a go, so we got the whole 5 of them playing.
Fantastic. Al, off the top, you've been secretary of the club for a number of years.
Oh, yeah?
2 years.
Yep. I was sort of fill-in man. I was on the board, and then I was senior vice president, and we had to get a secretary. Someone's got caught. I can't actually remember what happened. So between me and Chris, I think, and I said I'll be secretary, and Chris went president. Is that the way it went? Something like that. Yeah. So that's So I've sort of been a fill-in man.
Yep.
Now I'm filling in on the bar manager. So.
Yep.
Doing a good job. Very good.
He is. He's brilliant.
Yep.
That was his plight. He should have been a publican.
That can be dangerous too. Now, as we've just mentioned before, you've also been a club champion.
Yeah, just the once. Yep.
Chris
failed to mention he beat me the next year.
But still, in saying that, a very proud moment.
Oh yes, yeah. Dad was runner-up 2 or 3 times. So Dad never got there.
Yep.
Mum's been a club champion. Mum was a regional champion. So
Still playing.
Dad couldn't do it.
Yep.
She's still playing 90. What?
Mum's 90. Yeah, still
90.
playing bowls. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic.
Wait to see his grandkids. He's got to be playing bowls and nappies.
President Trophy on 4 occasions.
Yes, that's 100 up. Yes, 4 times. Yes.
Yep. We've got her B grade on 1 occasion. B grade.
Yeah, well, you can only win it once.
Yep.
Then you're thrown out of B grade.
And premierships, 4 of the weekend Division 1.
Yep.
And 1 Division 4.
Yeah, well, 3 or 2 or 3.
And 3 midweek.
Yep. Yep, I actually won the 4 top division and the 3 midweek in 4 years.
There
I
you
got
go.
7 premierships in 4 years.
That's pretty envious, isn't it?
It is.
And we touched on the generations, and what we were just having a discussion before. You've played in, I think you said, with 3 premierships with your son.
Yes, played with 3 with Evan. Yep.
Which is fantastic, isn't it?
Evan said, I couldn't play footy with you. I said, no, I was too old and I was too useless playing footy. But, so Evan played bowls with me. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was very good.
And also that you are the proud sponsor of the Pairs tournament.
Oh, yeah, Mum and Dad. Yeah, Mum and Dad. That's how we just carried that on, Yep.
Yep, fantastic. And as we've just mentioned also, we've got a couple of things written down here for you, Al. Runs the bar at the club and a great clubman.
Yeah, well, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
We tried to get him to do president, but he got out of that one, didn't he?
We don't ask him the reason why. We probably wouldn't be good. Have that on camera.
And just if I could pick your brains, the club rooms, if we could talk about that, late 70s, early 80s, drinkers and non-drinkers, if we could touch on that.
Well, look, that's for me. Those guys weren't playing. When I first started here, and there was a debate, okay, because there was the non-drinkers and there was the drinkers. And where the cool room is in there now, that used to be the bar area, and there used to be just a fridge, just an ordinary old fridge, and a few seats and a table, and we used to go in there and have I think they were long necks, if I remember rightly, back in them days, and have a few beers. But there was controversy because some of the non-drinkers say, "Oh no, we shouldn't have alcohol in the club, and all that other stuff. You should be going over to the hotel." And then, but then there was the drinkers, and they won the argument because they were Keith Mottram and Ian Fleck, George Edwards, and all them guys. They say, "We're going to have beers here," and that was the story. And they won the argument. So that started. I reckon it was early 80s, because I was around when there was discussion about them, but I'm not quite sure what year it was. The time goes quick, and I forget a lot of that stuff. Yeah, but I do remember there was quite a debate at the time. Yeah.
Building of the small green in the mid 1980s.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, that were you guys?
Just about. I think it was done when I started.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I was playing bowls anyway. I'll do this quick. Jeff Shea and Marge might be able to tell you more tomorrow. But that area where the little green is down between here and the fire track, that was just vacant, just rubbish, and nothing was there. And anyway, they decided the club was big enough to try and put another little green in. And in the club at the time, Sam Whitehead was a councillor. And if I'm right, Arthur Kennedy was secretary of the Bet Shire. And he played bowls here too. Anyway, Sam went to the council, and because this was council under council control, and to get the permission, I suppose, or get a motion for the council to put a bowling green in that area there, and they got it, and then it was a huge amount of work. They had to put the retainer wall in, and as I don't remember, I do remember going in, but I don't. And then they had to cart sand in, level it all off, and all that. And a lot of the volunteers done it. And I mean, a lot of them, like the Jimmy Bryants and all those types of people. I've got all their bloody names actually. And all then it took ages to build it, and they had to put that retainer, that concrete wall across there. And I always remember Joe Lacey telling me the story that they needed some timber to reinforce the wall, otherwise the wall would collapse, right? And he knew he was on the railways working for him. He said, "Oh yeah, I know where this timber is." So they went and just picked it up and brought it in and did it. And then a couple of weeks later, the railway supervisors come through and said, "We've had our stuff stolen from here, and it was sitting here." And Lacey said, "Yeah, it's sitting at the bowling club in the little green." I'll never forget that, Lacey telling me that story. That was funny, yeah.
And then changing of the grass of the green, early 1990s.
You remember that?
Yeah. I think that was a changing point in the club. Once we got some good surface.
What, beforehand, Baz, what was it?
It'd be battling to get the green to run it any more than 12.
It was a course of cooch.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. San Marino, was that?
Yeah, it was a course of cooch, and it used to wear out. It would be all bare. It used to wear out around where you step off the bank. It used to be just bare in the finish.
They're worried about the heat killing it all the time. Yeah. We got this, and bang, we haven't looked back.
Yep.
one thing we've got to mention too is the extensions of the club rooms here.
Yep.
We, the club back then actually raised their own funds. The members lent the Bowls Club money to build the extensions.
Bonds,
Yeah.
I think they called them.
Yeah. So
We did get a grant. It was part of, we did get a grant, but they still had to raise about 50 grand or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Was your father president or was then, or Barry? We were talking about before.
I don't know. I sort of think Dad might have been president when it was sort of might have been getting finished or just starting. I can't really remember, but the role in there. But but that made the members all feel that they own this place. They're very proud of the place.
Yep.
Yeah, that was, I think if I remember rightly, and I could be true, it was 50, 70 grand we had to raise.
Yeah.
And the members put in the grants, put in the money. And I know I got my money back quite quickly.
Yeah,
In a couple of years we got that money back. So the committee did a terrific job
What a
and
great
reimbursing
thing,
the people. And this is what we got now. It's a good facility, isn't it?
Great facility.
Yeah.
It's used for everything
Yeah. Yes.
Club logo and uniform, 2006-7.
Well, the girls touched on it, didn't they, there before, that the logo, I think it was before then, it was about 2005 or 6, yeah.
That's what they mentioned.
Yeah, these uniforms, and that's where it came from. Before then, we're just plain and all whites.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very flat and velvet, the main ones, isn't it?
Well, so was Josie Long and Loretta. Yeah, there was a few of them, I was involved in it,
And also, which would have been a big thing within the club, was ladies and men's combining.
Allan could tell the story. He was the one who pushed it.
I was not one of them. It was. What happened was the history of that bowling decision was the ladies. It was always men's pennant on Saturday and ladies pennant on Tuesday, but the ladies, this is Victoria, were working, so they wanted to play on a Saturday. So they actually took Bowls Victoria to VCAT. And the ruling was, because bowls wasn't a strength or anything game, it's equivalent. So it was ruled there was no such thing as men's and ladies bowls because of that. So the women wanted to play pennant on a Saturday and they got their way. But all through here, and that it also meant men could play on a Tuesday. And that did not go down very well with the ladies at all. So there was a ruling then that the men could play. The numbers are starting to dwindle too. The ladies, the Tuesday pennant was starting to dwindle. So they had this ruling then that the women had to be third and skipper, and men could only lead or second. So, and that was and it got harder and harder because you had to have a survey or something done every 2 years so that you could present it to Bowls Victoria something to say this is what the district wants. Yep. Otherwise, anyway, it just, and in the finish I think Bowls Victoria said, look, you'd lose it if it went to VCAT anyway. You'd lose it, so it's open slather now. So and there's still quite a few women do not like men playing.
The older ladies are the problem.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't do that too. Watch what you say.
It makes it more complicated. It makes it more complicated because world bowls is still men and ladies bowls, and the Commonwealth Games is singles and men's and ladies bowls, and that's why we've still got men's and ladies championships because it's sort of still tangled up with world bowls. Yep. Yeah, but the state of Victoria has ruled that there's no such thing as men's and ladies bowls. So it gets quite complicated in there, the politics of it all.
And that's something that I'm not going to get involved in.
I think we better watch what we say here.
So another thing I just thought I'd touch base with is sending the bowls away for testing.
Oh yes, well you guys wouldn't have. Did you have to send your bowls away for testing? No. When I first started bowls, in there. We used to have to send the bowls away for testing. I think it was every 3 or 4 years or something. And I remember going, and the testing place, you could send away to whatever mail, but I ended up going to East Bendigo out near Mayfair Park. That's where they used to do the testing. And it was quite interesting. So they had this timber frame in which they used to run the bowl down, and it might stand about 1 metre or something. I can't remember exactly. Run it down, and they check the curve, the bowls, to make sure it hasn't been manipulated and that type of thing. And also the weight of the bowl and all that other stuff, so that it's all to standard, for what that particular bowl was. Yeah. And of course, all the bowls back when it started, they were other than weight of a bowl and the size of the bowl, they all had the same line and everything, and you play with what do you call the curvarage, that ought to do, the curvarage. They used to have, everybody used to have to send away and get their bowls checked. Yeah. And I think it stopped when the narrow bias bowls started to come into play. When was that? 1980 or 90, something like that?
Yeah, in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah. You used to have to get your bowl stamped, didn't you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. They used to do it on the side. Yeah.
Now they have them nearly running straight down the middle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Play timber bowls.
And if I could ask you your opinions on just that, the bowls changing over the years, like the narrow bias, has that made a difference, or?
I'm not sure they're the best, personally.
The skill's going out of it when you take out the bias.
Yeah.
Like I used to use the old Luton bowls, and I didn't want to change. But I woke up. If you're out a little bit on with an old bowl, you finished a mile away. With the new bowls, you're only a little. So it just cuts down the error.
And if you watch the really top bowlers playing bowls these days, they'll have a whole heap of bowls. The leaders get a bowls and they keep building to it. And what the thirds and the skippers doing is just pushing into the head all the time. The skill of draw bowling's not there anymore. It's just pushing into the head all the time. And trying to manipulate it to get a thing there. Yeah, where the old bowls, it was real art. Yeah, playing, you had to go way out wide and bring the bowl back in and get it close to the kitty. There was skill in that.
What's your thoughts on it, Al?
My thoughts are that you've still got to have touch. You've still got to get the bowl to the kitty somehow. So the narrow bowls, you have to have precision with your weight with narrow bowls. With the bigger bias, you can give more weight because your bowl sort of stops in a bigger area, so you don't have to be quite as accurate with your weight. So there's still a skill all through that. The biggest change I reckon in bowls has been the arm for the older, so that older bowlers can keep playing bowls, and they've got their arm. These two blokes here play with an arm, and it keeps the older, the least fitter people able to bowl.
Yep.
I'm playing with a walker this year. I started playing. It made a lot of difference. Helps me.
Explain that then.
Well, I got my back really bad,
and
it just takes the pressure off my back. And I can play all day and have no worries. I was thinking of giving the game away this year. As soon as I started doing that, me on skipping. Made a lot of difference.
And could you explain the arm? Does that come at a disadvantage or something you've got to get used to, obviously?
You've got to get used to it, because you don't have the same feel in your hand as you with the hand. It's not as sensitive, where you have more sensitive on your fingers and that type. With the arm, you don't have that. And I always found playing with the hand, playing from going the hand and arm, it took me 2 to 3 years to try and get that touch and all. And you still don't have that same touch as you do with having a bowl in your hand. That's right. And you see all the top bowlers playing for Australia now. Nobody plays with an arm. They play with their hands because they've got more feel through their fingers and that. You don't have that with the arms.
Mind you, there's people that play for Australia now are 22 years old.
Yeah, it's true too. It's true.
And let's talk about that, because hasn't it changed the dynamic, age dynamic?
Yes.
Oh,
Because bowls was always traditionally something you done maybe in retirement.
That's right. Well, it's not only that. There's good money in bowls now. Australia is by far the biggest, the leaders in world bowls, and that's probably, and the most money in the world's in Australia with bowls. You go to Queensland and up through there, they've got poker machines. This is New South Wales too. They've got poker machines, and they've got money rolling in. So they employ the top bowlers. I mean, the top bowlers around the world, they'll come and be living in Australia and working in Australia and playing bowls for their clubs where they are, because some of them could get $100,000 a year playing more bowls and just going around the whole circuit. It's Australia dominated, and world bowls used to operate out of England. I think it operates now out of Queensland, world bowls now, and that's where they got their headquarters and all that other stuff. So there's money in bowls now. There's people making a living out of it.
I need to be out of here in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Fellas, if I could just touch on some of the great memories you've got, maybe each just from the club, over your time, some of the things that have meant some special times for you.
Yeah, I think winning the 4 premierships was terrific, and I'll be very quick with that was thing there. No, I'll leave it at that. And obviously winning the regional champions for me personally, just all the friendships and everything. I mean, there's been a lot of people, and I'll be honest, there's nobody alive when from I started playing ball. Jeff and Mark Shea are, but they're not with our club anymore.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Give them guys.
What about you, Barry?
I don't know, the one that really sticks in my mind was Chris and I won the state pairs.
Yep.
The next level we had to go down to Macedon and play. We went there and we looked up on the board, and here's his scorecard. 72-2, I think it was.
Okay. Let a better game. Yeah, it's right on.
Well, and what about you, Al?
yeah, they're nearly all just family things, really. Playing pennant, we had a team of Weirs. One day, the club was good enough to pick us just for the one Saturday. Dad, Mum and me and Evan played a pennant game. That's
Yep.
quite
Yep.
And I won the state pairs with Evan.
Yep.
And yeah, once again, the 4 premierships in a row, that was
Yep.
a big achievement.
Yep.
Geez.
Yeah. But certainly the family connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fellas, at this point in time, I'd like to thank you all very much for your time, and I really hope there's many more years to come.
Thank
You
you.
enjoy great success in this great club.
Thanks.
Very
Thanks
good.
to you, Andy. Good on you, mate. Thanks to you. Good on you. Yeah.